Dear Starseed from Gaia, the version of you that he falls for is the one you're becoming right now. Do not return to the old version of yourself just to keep his attention. Your transformation is already changing the path of this connection. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and the reunion guides are speaking through me in this divinely timed transmission. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to align with divine union. But here's the first revelation. He is not being drawn to your fear, your waiting, or your need to be chosen. He is recognizing the self-respecting, heart-centered version of you who no longer abandons herself for love. You didn't find this video by chance. Your heart called this message in, like this transmission, to affirm to the universe, my heart is ready for divine love. Your heart knows why you're here. Not every soul who hears this message is ready to act on it. But if your heart is beating differently right now, if something inside you whispered, "This is for me," then the next step has already chosen you. The Divine Love Frequency Code holds the complete activation sequence for sacred partnership, the wound clearing, the recognition map, the 11-minute practice that shifts your entire energetic field. You'll find it in the first pinned comment below, but only while this window remains open. And now, stay with the feeling that is moving through you, because the version of you he falls for is not a distant future self. You have to become through force. She is already forming inside every choice you make to stop abandoning yourself. Every time you choose peace over proving, truth over performance, and self-respect over being chosen at any cost, you are becoming more recognizable to the kind of love your soul has been preparing to receive. She is forming in the quiet moments when you do not send the message designed to provoke a reaction. She is forming when you allow someone to misunderstand you, rather than exhausting yourself trying to manage their perception. She is forming when you let silence reveal what words have been disguising. She is forming when you choose to return to your own center, instead of reaching outward for reassurance that can only soothe you for a moment. This transformation may not look dramatic from the outside. There may be no announcement, no visible ceremony, no sudden sign in the sky. It may look like closing your phone and taking a breath. It may look like sleeping peacefully instead of analyzing a conversation at 3 in the morning. It may look like telling the truth gently, even when you cannot control the response. Yet these small choices are sacred turning points. They are the roots growing beneath the soil before anyone can see the tree. Most souls struggle with divine love because they believe the relationship begins when another person arrives. But sacred union begins much earlier. It begins in the invisible moment when you stop negotiating against your own heart. It begins when you no longer ask, "What must I become so he will love me?" and begin asking, "What must I release so I can remain fully present with the love that is already awakening within me?" Scripture reminds us that the kingdom of heaven is within you. This means the first sanctuary of love is not located in another person's arms, another person's approval, or another person's decision. It is being built inside the way you speak to yourself when no one is watching. It is being restored in the way you care for your body, protect your peace, and honor the quiet knowing that has guided you through every dark night. A sacred partnership is not created by two incomplete people, desperately trying to use one another as shelter from their own inner storms. It is created when two souls learn to bring their wholeness into the same room. They may still have fears. They may still carry scars. But they do not ask the relationship to become a substitute for healing. They allow love to be a garden, not a battlefield. A place where both people can grow, not a place where one person must shrink so the other can remain comfortable. There is a deep wound many sensitive souls carry, the fear that if they reveal their real needs, their tenderness, their intensity, their dreams, or their truth, they will become too much to love. So they learn to soften their voice, hide their longing, accept uncertainty, and call emotional distance patience. They become skilled at reading another person's energy while becoming strangers to their own. They sense every shift in his attention, but ignore the shift inside their own body when something no longer feels safe, mutual, or aligned. They may say, "He is just busy," while their chest is tight and their spirit is exhausted. They may say, "He is afraid of intimacy," while their own needs remain unanswered. They may call themselves understanding when they are actually overextending. They may call themselves spiritually mature when they are suppressing the very truth that wants to set them free. Listen to the wisdom of the body. The body often knows before the mind is willing to admit. A relationship can feel exciting and still be destabilizing. A connection can feel familiar and still be rooted in an old wound. A person can awaken your deepest emotions and still not possess the capacity to walk with you responsibly. Your sensitivity is not a flaw to overcome, but it must be joined with discernment. A loving heart needs a clear gate. This is not because they are weak. It is because somewhere along the way, love became associated with earning, waiting, rescuing, or enduring. The heart began to believe that devotion meant tolerating confusion. It mistook anxiety for intuition and longing for proof. It held on to potential because potential felt safer than admitting that the present moment was not meeting the soul's standard. Many people learned this pattern in childhood. They discovered that affection came when they were helpful, quiet, successful, pleasing, or emotionally convenient. They learned to watch the face of the person they loved, searching for signs of displeasure, and then adjust themselves accordingly. Later, they carried that same survival language into romance. They became experts at anticipating another person's needs, but beginners at naming their own. But love is not a reward handed to the most accommodating soul. Love is not a prize for the person who can endure the longest period of uncertainty. The words of 1 Corinthians speak of love as patient and kind, but patience was never meant to mean the permanent acceptance of neglect. Kindness does not require self-erasure. Long-suffering does not mean living without mutuality. Sacred love may ask for patience, but it will never ask you to abandon wisdom. The Arcturian heart wisdom speaks clearly about this pattern. Love cannot stabilize in a field where one soul is constantly leaving itself to be accepted by another. The emotional body begins to recalibrate when you stop using someone else's attention as evidence of your worth. Your heart chakra does not open because another person finally chooses you. It opens when you no longer close it against yourself while waiting for them to return. Imagine your heart as a luminous room with windows facing the dawn. For years, you may have kept those windows covered because someone else's absence felt like proof that the sun would never come. But the sun did not disappear. The curtain simply became heavy with old grief. Each time you honor yourself, one layer loosens. Each time you refuse to chase what cannot meet you, another window opens. The light was never dependent on someone else standing at the door. This is why the version of you he falls for is the one you are becoming now, not because you need to perform a higher frequency, but because your inner alignment changes what you can recognize, what you can receive, and what you are willing to call love. The old version of you may have been magnetized by intensity without consistency, chemistry without clarity, and promises without embodiment. The emerging version of you is still capable of deep feeling, but she no longer confuses a powerful connection with a complete relationship. She can appreciate the electricity of a meeting without immediately assigning it a destiny. She can feel a soul connection without ignoring human behavior. She can believe in spiritual timing while still asking practical questions. She understands that a person's energy may be beautiful, but their actions are the bridge through which that energy becomes trustworthy. The first sacred key is the worthiness unlock. You must believe you deserve it before you can remain open to it. This does not mean repeating beautiful words while secretly preparing for rejection. It means noticing the places where you still believe love must be earned through availability, usefulness, patience, beauty, healing, or emotional labor. It means recognizing the hidden bargain beneath the thought, if I am understanding enough, attractive enough, spiritual enough, or easy enough, then he will finally give me what I need. Notice how often the word if has been placed between you and your worth. If I lose weight, if I become calmer, if I stop needing so much, if I become more mysterious, if I can prove I am different from everyone else. These conditions create a moving target that no human being can ever reach. Even when you achieve one, the mind invents another. Worthiness cannot be built on a foundation of constant self-correction. That bargain is exhausting your heart. It turns intimacy into an audition. It makes you monitor yourself instead of meeting another person honestly. When this key turns, you stop trying to become worthy of love and begin making choices from the truth that your worth was never in question. You no longer chase a doorway that only opens when you disappear. You become available for a love that can meet you in your wholeness. A love worthy of you will not be frightened by the existence of your needs. It may require communication, compromise, and patience, but it will not make you feel ashamed for being human. You will not have to translate your pain into a more convenient language before it is allowed to matter. You will not have to offer endless understanding while receiving none. Place your hand over your heart and notice what happens when you say, "I do not have to abandon myself to be loved." If grief rises, let it rise. That grief may belong to the part of you that has been waiting for permission to come home. Breathe slowly as you repeat it. Let the statement travel beneath the mind and into the places where old beliefs live. You may feel resistance, numbness, or even disbelief. That is not failure. It is simply evidence that a new truth is meeting an old pattern. Healing often begins as a sentence that feels unfamiliar before it becomes a way of life. The second sacred key is mirror recognition. He does not appear to complete you. The connection reveals what you are ready to see. A divine counterpart can awaken tenderness, desire, fear, and ancient memories all at once. This is why these connections often feel larger than ordinary attraction. They touch places that were sleeping. They illuminate the parts of you that crave union and the parts that still believe closeness leads to loss. But a mirror is not a command to pursue. It is an invitation to become conscious. Sometimes the person who awakens you is not the person who remains. Sometimes their purpose is to bring a hidden part of your heart to the surface, so that you can care for it, rather than continue to bury it. This does not make the connection meaningless. A sunrise does not become less beautiful because it does not remain in the sky all day. Some encounters are designed to reveal the landscape within you. If his presence reveals your fear of abandonment, the answer is not to cling more tightly. If his distance exposes your fear of rejection, the answer is not to convince him of your value. If the connection awakens your longing, allow that longing to show you the depth of love within you without handing another person responsibility for its existence. Ask yourself what the feeling is trying to teach. Is it asking you to communicate more honestly? To stop accepting half-presence? To grieve something older than this person? To believe that your desire is not shameful? The emotion is a messenger, but not every message is an instruction to act. You can listen without obeying every impulse. When this key turns, you stop asking, "How do I make him see what we are?" and begin asking, "What is this connection showing me about the love I am learning to embody?" You become less focused on decoding every message and more devoted to understanding your own emotional truth. You stop treating his behavior as a verdict on your future. You let the mirror teach you without allowing it to define you. The third sacred key is karmic release. Old contracts must be dissolved before new love can feel safe. Some bonds remain active long after the relationship has ended because the heart is still carrying an unfinished conversation. You may be trying to prove that you were lovable to someone who could not meet you. You may still be waiting for an apology, an explanation, or a final moment that makes the pain meaningful. You may even be carrying a silent promise that you will never trust again, never need again, or never let anyone have the power to hurt you. At times, the soul remains attached not to the person, but to the question. Why did they leave? Why was I not enough? Why did they choose someone else? Why did they promise what they could not provide? The mind returns to these questions as though one perfect answer could restore the years that were lost. But closure is not always something another person gives you. Sometimes closure is the decision to stop placing your healing in the hands of someone who participated in your wound. These are energetic agreements, not punishments. They form to protect you, but protection can become imprisonment when it outlives the wound. Releasing an old contract does not mean pretending it did not matter. It means returning the lesson and reclaiming the life force you invested in repeating it. You can honor what a relationship taught you without continuing to orbit its absence. You can love someone and still close the door. You can understand their wounds and still refuse to be wounded by them again. You can release the fantasy of who they might become and make room for the reality of who is capable of meeting you now. Imagine gathering every piece of your energy that has been left in old conversations, old photographs, old possibilities, and old versions of yourself. Imagine bringing it back like golden threads returning to your chest. Nothing valuable is lost when you release what cannot reciprocate. You are not losing love. You are ending the leakage of life force that prevented love from flowing toward you. Say quietly, "I release every agreement that requires me to suffer in order to prove my love. Let the words move through the body. The heart may resist because it has mistaken familiarity for destiny. But what is familiar is not always what is sacred, and what is painful is not automatically what is destined. The fourth sacred key is divine timing. Surrender. Your heart knows the schedule, but your fear keeps trying to edit it. There is a difference between surrender and passivity. Surrender does not mean waiting in an empty room for someone to arrive. It means allowing your life to continue expanding while the right conditions form. It means refusing to force a conversation, a reunion, or a label, simply because uncertainty makes you uncomfortable. It means trusting that what is aligned will not require you to betray your nervous system to keep it alive. Look at the natural world. The sea does not break open because someone shouts at it. The river does not reach the ocean by resenting every stone. The moon does not hurry through its phases to reassure the night. There is an intelligence in becoming that cannot be controlled from the surface. Your life may appear still while deep roots are forming beneath what you can see. Many souls are not actually afraid that love will never come. They are afraid that it will come in a form they cannot control. They want the promise, but not the vulnerability. They want recognition, but not the transformation that recognition requires. Sacred union asks both people to become honest enough to be seen beyond their defenses. That cannot be rushed by desire alone. When this key turns, you stop measuring divine timing by external movement. You understand that inner preparation is also movement. The boundaries you establish are movement. The life you rebuild is movement. The peace you create in the absence of answers is movement. Even the day you stop checking for a sign can be the day your frequency changes most profoundly. Surrender may mean applying for the opportunity, going out with friends, beginning therapy, creating art, or opening yourself to life again. It may mean releasing the demand that every beautiful experience point back to one specific person. The future is not asking you to remain frozen until it arrives. It is asking you to walk toward it with open hands. The fifth sacred key is magnetic embodiment. Become the energy you seek, not the performance of it. If you desire a clear love, practice clarity with yourself. If you desire devotion, devote yourself to the life that makes your spirit feel alive. If you desire emotional maturity, stop excusing your own avoidance while judging another person's. If you desire a partner who communicates, let your own truth have a voice. If you desire gentleness, notice how harshly you speak to yourself after making a mistake. If you desire loyalty, become loyal to your own values even when no one applauds. If you desire stability, create rituals that teach your nervous system it is safe to rest. You are not pretending to be the love you want. You are allowing the qualities you seek to become familiar in your own inner environment. Magnetism is not manipulation. It is the natural response that occurs when your thoughts, choices, body, and heart are no longer broadcasting conflicting signals. One part of you says, "I am ready for love," while another says, "But only if I can control how it arrives, avoid being hurt, and remain untouched." The heart cannot fully receive what the nervous system has been trained to fear. Begin with simple embodiment. Eat in a way that honors your body. Rest before exhaustion makes the decision for you. Speak the truth before resentment speaks it for you. Walk away from conversations that repeatedly leave you smaller. Let joy exist without requiring it to lead somewhere. The love you seek is not only a person, it is a way of inhabiting your own life. Notice the sensations of a life that feels like yours. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of music that brings your spirit back into your body, the relief of a clean room, a sincere conversation, or a boundary kept. These are not distractions from your love story. They are evidence that your life is already responding to your return. The sixth sacred key is separation wisdom. Distance is not always rejection. Sometimes it reveals what closeness was concealing. When a connection enters a period of silence or distance, the mind often creates a story of abandonment. But space can expose the difference between genuine resonance and emotional dependency. It can show you whether you miss the person or the possibility, whether you want mutual love or simply relief from uncertainty, whether the bond supports your expansion or keeps you suspended in anticipation. Silence can be painful because it removes the constant stimulation that kept hope alive. Yet in that quiet, you may finally hear the questions you avoided while waiting for another message. How do I feel when I am not interpreting him? What do I want when I am not adapting to his availability? Who am I when I am not preparing for his return? Separation becomes sacred when you use it to return to yourself, not as a strategy to make someone chase you, but as an honest reclamation of your energy. You do not have to turn away from love to protect your dignity. You only have to stop placing your entire life on hold for a love that has not yet learned how to stand beside you. If reunion is aligned, the space will not be wasted. It will mature both hearts. It will clear the patterns that made closeness unstable. And if the connection was meant to teach rather than remain, the same space will give you the perspective to recognize that your life is not ending, it is opening. Do not use distance to create a performance of indifference. Let it be real. Feel what you feel, but do not let every feeling become a command. You can miss someone and still move forward. You can hope and still make plans. You can leave the door unlocked in your heart without sitting on the doorstep all night. The seventh sacred key is reunion readiness. The final lock opens from within. You may imagine reunion as the moment he returns, reaches out, confesses, or finally sees the depth of what has existed between you. But the deeper reunion is the moment you no longer need his arrival to validate your becoming. You have integrated the earlier keys. You know your worth without evidence. You can love without chasing. You can feel deeply without abandoning discernment. You can welcome his presence without making it the source of your identity. Reunion readiness is not merely emotional excitement. It is the ability to meet reality without forcing it to match the fantasy. If he returns, you will be able to listen to his words while observing his actions. You will be able to receive an apology without rushing to erase the lesson. You will be able to discuss the future without abandoning the standards that keep your heart safe. This is the version of you that sacred love can meet. Not a perfect version. Not a woman who has never been afraid, triggered, or uncertain. A conscious version. A woman who can say, "This is what I feel. This is what I need. This is what I can offer. This is what I will no longer accept." Her heart is open, but it is not unguarded. Her softness has boundaries. Her desire has dignity. Her intuition is no longer drowned out by the fear of losing someone. She does not confuse peace with boredom or chaos with passion. She is no longer suspicious of consistency simply because inconsistency once felt exciting. She understands that a stable love may feel unfamiliar at first, not because it lacks depth, but because her nervous system is learning a new language. The quiet that once seemed empty begins to feel like safety. The clarity that once seemed demanding begins to feel like grace. And here is the ultimate truth. Your heart may have been trying to remember. You are not becoming someone else so that he will fall for you. You are becoming so fully yourself that the love meant to meet you can no longer be confused with anything less. Your becoming is not a costume. It is not a spiritual performance designed to attract a particular outcome. It is the gradual removal of everything that taught you to hide. It is the return of your natural radiance, the kind that does not need to announce itself. When you stand in that radiance, you may still desire him, but you will no longer make desire the ruler of your decisions. The loneliness was not proof that you were forgotten. It was the space where your inner voice became audible. The heartbreak was not evidence that you had failed at love. It was the breaking open of identities that could not accompany you into deeper intimacy. The waiting was not empty. It was revealing what you were willing to sacrifice for connection, and what you are finally no longer willing to sacrifice. There were nights when you believed the silence meant you had been erased. There were mornings when you carried on with your life while a hidden part of you remained beside a memory. Yet even then, something within you was gathering itself. The soul was turning pain into discernment, longing into prayer, and solitude into an inner chamber where your truest voice could be heard. There were versions of you who accepted almost love because they were terrified of having no love at all. Bless those versions. They were surviving with the tools they had. But you are not required to keep living from the same wound simply because it once kept you safe. You can thank the part of you that chased, overgave, over-explained, and held on too long. Then you can gently tell her that the season of proving is over. She does not need to be shamed for the ways she tried to secure love. She needs compassion. She was doing what frightened parts often do, reaching for control when what she truly needed was safety. Give her that safety now. Let her know that you will no longer place her in rooms where she must beg to be considered. Let her know that your future will not be built by repeating the conditions that broke your past. The soul does not ask you to harden in order to be chosen. It asks you to become clear enough to feel the difference between longing and alignment. Clear enough to recognize when a connection is awakening you and when it is consuming you. Clear enough to let love come toward you without running after it. Clear enough to understand that divine timing never asks you to betray the present moment for the promise of a future one. Clarity does not remove mystery from love. It removes the need to suffer in order to preserve mystery. You can honor the unseen while remaining honest about what is seen. You can believe that souls are connected while requiring respect, effort, and presence in the human experience. Spirit may guide the meeting, but character builds the relationship. Intention may open the door, but consistency is what allows two people to live inside the same home of trust. Tonight, or whenever you feel the old fear returning, place your hand over your heart and say, I am worthy of love that is clear, mutual, and alive. I release the need to prove my value. I allow the version of me who is becoming whole to be seen. Do not say it to force a particular person to return. Say it so your own heart can hear you choosing it again. Then breathe as if you are making room for that truth. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw release. Imagine the words becoming a warm current moving through your chest, down your arms and into your hands. Your body has carried the weight of waiting for so long. It is allowed to learn that love can begin with your own presence. The love you are preparing for will not be threatened by your healing. It will not require you to remain confused so that it can feel powerful. It will not ask you to become smaller, quieter, or less radiant. It will recognize the tenderness beneath your strength and the strength beneath your tenderness. It will meet the person you are becoming. Not because you performed transformation perfectly, but because you finally stopped hiding the truth of who you are. It will not demand that you arrive without history. It will honor the wisdom your history gave you. It will not punish you for needing reassurance, but it will also help you build reassurance within yourself. It will not use your openness as an opportunity to control you. It will treat your heart as something entrusted, not something conquered. And whether this love arrives through the person you have been thinking about, or through a path you cannot yet imagine, the preparation is still sacred. The healing is still real. The return to yourself is still the miracle. When you become faithful to your own soul, you are no longer waiting for love to begin. You are living from the frequency where healthy love can recognize you. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real from your heart journey. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or love. This isn't content, it's collective healing. Love multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your life is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow of divine love guidance. You're not just watching, you're healing. This is your sacred space, and we're just getting started.